Hey everyone, Amascut here, back with the third round of the Menaphos discussion and information podcasts that I've been doing on the channel. Unfortunately, no Crondis today, but we got Lime still, because Lime is great. Say hi.
Hello. What's up?
Yeah, we're going to go over the last big chunk of information that we have gotten before Menaphos comes out on Monday. Yeah, it's
Coming out on Monday?
I can't believe how close it is. I'm so excited.
To put into perspective, it's been, what?
10 years since Menaphos?
10 years since Menaphos came out.
11 probably.
Yeah, it's 11. No, it's 12 now.
Is it really at 12? Oh my god.
2005.
Yeah,
And
yeah, it was April 2005. And we're getting it June
years.
2017.
Yeah. 12 years of the month. And it's been 6 years since the last, not the reworks, but since the Desert Quest moved forward.
Yeah. It's been a while, so I'm so excited to get back into things. And we've got a lot to talk about today, too. We're going to be going through the last bit of information we got about Slayer, about the factions, a ton about the story, some information about collections, and then just some other general information as well. So, want to just launch into it?
It's fine. Yeah, let's go.
Alright, so first we're going to go ahead and go through Slayer. Not a ton of new info, because we've covered most of what we had already, thankfully. They were kind and actually told us things, which is a true shocker. But as people listening to this probably know, Slayer is being raised to 120. We're getting a bunch of new monsters. Specifically, we're getting 2 sets of tasks. There are Devourers, which have a weighting identical to Dark Beasts, and Corrupt Beasts, which have a weighting identical to Abyssal Demons. So 12 and 10, respectively.
Yes.
These monsters have taken residence in a pyramid in Sophonem, the city of the dead, in a new dungeon in like a new southern section. Basically, they've graphically reworked Sophonem entirely, and it's going to be pretty much a brand new city.
They also reworked, retouched, actually.
They retouched Narda and Polnivnich, probably the bandit camp as well. They said they've pretty much touched everything in the desert, so I'm hoping that means everything.
Go look.
Yeah. Supposedly, too, most of the monsters that you can encounter in the desert have been reworked, not just graphically, but mechanically as well, so I'm eager to see what happens with that.
Confirmed.
So that's going to be pretty cool. But yeah, back to Slayer. Killing a monster in this dungeon requires an item called a Feather of Ma'at. You use 1 for every kill you do. This is actually a real mythology parallel from Egyptian mythology. So
yes.
I was surprised they actually wholesale used the name Feather of Ma'at for this. Or as Osborne's been putting it, Matt. But yeah, it's interesting. Apparently you get them just from doing stuff around the city, but you can also buy them. So you're not really going to have a hard time getting them, but it just adds kind of a little bit of extra cost on there.
Yeah, and it actually, I think it would also give a profit, because, like...
Yeah, I'm curious how that's going to play out.
It's going to be a really weird... Well, not weird. I think it could work out pretty well.
Yeah, I'm not complaining about it. I think it's an interesting concept and could definitely do some good things there. But we'll see. We will see.
Slayer is going to flood the market with everything else.
Oh, yeah. So we'll see what the mobs drop. Additionally, though, speaking of drops, the mobs work by... the dungeon itself actually works with a large chest that you loot. All loot that is dropped can go into the chest, or you can pick it up manually. It's your choice. But
except for really special drops. Those are always dropped.
Yes, those are always dropped. And if you are using the chest system and you die, a cut of what you had in there is lost, similar to Telos, though I don't think it's as extreme.
Alright, well...
Yeah.
That pretty much parallels how Slayer is...
Yeah, like, I'm fine with that. I think that's a perfectly fine choice. It makes it easier to, do your grind and then not have to worry about inventory space. But at the same time, it adds that little extra layer of risk if you like the convenience. So that's fine. The mobs
Yeah.
seem pretty
Also,
dangerous based on Chaplin's little teaser of fighting a Devourer gorilla, so we'll see.
it stops you from having to choose between drops if you have to.
Yeah, it drops in efficiency, I agree. Additionally, these mobs will be dropping a key, or various types of keys. They will be useless for 2 weeks, and then 2 weeks afterwards, they are releasing a new Slayer boss, kind of like the Legions. Legiones?
Yeah, like
Legions? Whatever they're called. Ascension dudes.
Jonas.
Yeah, we'll go with Legiones. I'm assuming that it's going to drop T92 dual wield ranged gear. That is my guess.
Seems likely. Is there anything currently in that slot or no?
T92 dual wield? No.
Okay. Well, I guess
the only T92 dual wield we have is from Angel of Death so far, for magic. So I personally feel like keeping ranged coming from Slayer makes sense, because the T90 range armor comes from Slayer and not from a boss. The T90 ranged weapons comes from Slayer, well, a Slayer boss, but not from a traditional boss. Wow.
Yeah, it comes
T90 melee comes from Calfight King, and T90 magic comes from Virago, and then T90 melee armor comes from Rots. So that's kind of my guess on the things. Like, it would make sense to continue to tie ranged into Slayer like that.
Too similar to the Ascension dungeon.
I agree, but I mean, logically, that's where my thought process is going. I would be surprised if they weren't dropping a new T92 set here, because, you know, it's kind of important to do so. Because
they could do, like, T92 armor.
I would be really surprised about that. Because we've got the mining smithing rework coming that is giving us just that.
Oh. True.
So, I would say weapons. That's my guess. And we haven't gotten a new T92 weapon since Nex came out in January. Or Nex Angel of Death came out in January. So this would be the next logical spot in my mind. So we'll see. I'm excited to see what they got. Additionally, additionally, one big thing is that there is more Slayer stuff coming that is currently being kept under wraps, but involves 99 to 120 content and a new way to train the skill entirely. Most of us seem to be assuming this is the become your own Slayer master kind of thing. And I'm wondering if maybe that will tie into the history of the Order of Slayers, because we've been told that there is a small bit of story related to Amascut's hunt for whatever she's hunting for, and the Order of Slayers within this dungeon in the first place.
Let's just go ahead and talk about that now, because I don't think we've talked about that before.
With the Order of Slayers itself.
Yeah, we've got this mural.
So I did a Rune Secrets episode on that, so I'll just link to that. That'll be the good way to do that. But a brief summary, basically, we saw that Amascut created the Order, was using her masters to slay things, and then turned on Cadillacs when he found her machine under Polnivnich. For whatever it was for.
The machine's got nothing to do with this whole scheme.
Yeah, it seemed to be creating monsters. And Cadillacs was killed, the other masters found out, and left Amascut.
And at some point in the past, the machine under Polnivnich was shuttered, and now chained up.
Yep. So, I'm expecting we'll see more story on this, because I would be really surprised if the Merles touch on it, and then they don't bother to expand that story at all. So we'll see.
Oh, hang on, that could be the premise for Fight Club.
It could be. I'm kind of expecting Fight Club, as being short for Mena Fight Club, to have something to do with the Pharaoh, but we'll see. I would be very happy if it expanded on the Smoke Dungeon and the Polnivnich thing, but nothing about the icon for Fight Club screams, Smoke Dungeon to me. Screams Pharaoh.
Well, we'll talk about that in a bit. Yep. Also, we're only assuming that's the Fight Club icon.
Well, there's two of them, and one of them is the Tumican banner, and the other one is the Pharaoh's head, and then the other one is a magic carpet, so we'll see. But it would make sense to me. Anyway, yeah, let's go ahead and move on here. Actually, I think that's the end of Slayer here. So we'll move on to the next major topic, unless you got anything else, Lime.
The Hazelmere ring.
Oh, yeah. Not really part of Menaphos, but yeah, people have found the Hazelmere signet ring. I'm curious to find out what its effect will be, and if it will, what kind of effect it'll have for Menaphos. But yeah, let's go ahead and hit up the factions then. So,
All right.
Through the Golden Path ARG, we've been finding out a little bit about the leaders of each of the 4 major factions in Menaphos. For the Workers, the Port, the Merchant District, and the Imperial District. We know that there is a man named Batal, who apparently at least used to be a hero, who is the faction leader for the Workers. Then we have Wadud, who leads the Port. Esan, who leads the Merchants. And supposedly this is her name, Acomet, leads the Imperial District. We're not 100% sure if Acomet is actually her name, because she's part of the current set of clues for the Golden Path, and if that's not her name, that would be... it would make sense, because her name doesn't work on the sundial. We'll get to that in a few, though.
And the other 3 names, they mean something in Arabic, but Acomet doesn't...
Yeah, which is definitely incredibly weird.
It's like... I mean, Ak, it is the ancient Egyptian concept of a soul.
Yeah. So I just, I don't know what to think. I would like it to be, turn out to actually be her name. I think it's a perfectly fine sounding name, and it's pretty cool. But, yeah, I don't know. But we learned a little bit about, 2 of them. I believe it was Wadud and Acomet. In that,
yes.
Let's see, Wadud was a sailor, an old sailor, right? And,
I think he was an old pirate. Actually.
Or, yeah.
It doesn't actually say that.
Yeah, but he used to be, a very experienced sailor, became a major boon to Menaphos, and now he has to work on land for the good of his faction, but he wants to go back onto the sea someday, which makes sense to me,
Yeah, it makes sense. But I feel like he could be a pirate because it seems like he was once at odds with Menaphos.
That is true.
And it also would allude to the old Ottoman practice of turning old pirates into their admirals, best admirals. So
yeah, that's actually pretty cool. I didn't know about that.
Yeah, the inspiration for both Jack Sparrow and Barbarossa in Pirates of the Caribbean movies were both Ottoman admirals.
Oh, like an privateer kind of thing, yeah. Okay, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. And then Acomet, she was kind of like a warrior for Menaphos, as far as we can tell, and she followed in her mom's footsteps as the captain of the guard. But
she's a veteran.
Yeah. But her only really challenges so far have been dealing with the slave revolt and bandits, and she's almost bored with the way Menaphos has been up until now.
Yeah, she's probably going to be very pro-war.
Yeah. Especially from the chatbot, we know that there's a trade deal that just happened with Al-Qarid, and she believes that they are getting a huge bargain out of it and is kind of manipulating them through it.
Yeah, Hassan believes that, but it's not. I don't think it's sealed yet. My personal theory is that that is how Jack of Spades opens.
Yeah, that's my guess as well, because we know that Jack of Spades opens by talking to Emir Ali in Al-Qarid.
So yeah, the deal is about to be signed.
My guess is that we're going to be sent to Menaphos as an emissary of this deal, and that's when all hell is going to break loose. What was that?
It's a good way to make the Golden City opening to everyone.
Yeah, because it's really difficult without contact otherwise. So they found the one reasonable way to do it, if that's correct, of course. But going back to the factions themselves, beyond just these leaders, you earn reputation in the city by doing various tasks and just doing other things around the city. There's the 4 factions: the Port, the Workers, the Merchant, and the Imperial, and you choose 1 or 2. I think you can choose all 4 at a time, and any reputation you earn is split between the factions you've chosen. And it unlocks a series of content. Each of the individual ones have their own unlocks, and then there's a 5th one, which is kind of like your composite score of everything, and that's kind of an overview for the city. And they all have a series of unlocks. For the city itself, you unlock things like the Grand Exchange, 2 different cosmetic banners, a bank, access to a Crondis quest, some bonuses involving Gothixian butterflies and implings that can spawn in the Overcity, a Het quest, something to do with the Feathers of Ma'at, according to the icon in there, likely the finale, the Pharaoh quest, and then something to do with magic carpets, just based on the icons we've got from the city rewards overview. Sound about right?
Yeah. Yes, that looks right.
Yep. And basically you'll be kind of working your way through this, earning overall rewards, earning faction rewards, and allowing you to focus where you really want to get your rewards from. 3 out of 4 of the quests coming with Menaphos. Yes, I said 4 quests coming with Menaphos. Oh my god, hype. Are, and they're unlocked through the rep system, but let's go back to the hype. Oh my god, like, we're getting 4 modern standard brand new quests in 2017.
Was the last time we got?
The last time we got 4 or more brand new quests being released at the same time was in 2002. The time before that we got 4 quests released at all at the same time was with the Berthorpe and Taverley rework, when they reworked 3 quests and released Let Them Eat Pie. So 2012? 13? Yeah, one of the 2. So the fact that we're getting 4 brand new quests at today's quest standards that are not reworks is bonkers. I thought we were getting like 2, maybe a small 3rd one. We're getting 4 quests. A Crondis quest, a Het quest, and a finale quest, not to mention the introductory quest into Menaphos. It's crazy.
And then on top of that,
oh my god,
all this outlying lore and
and we'll get to that in a few, but I mean, it's just we're getting so much out of this, and it's absolutely crazy.
Expansions were worth it. I'm happy.
Yeah, like yes. A couple more things about factions before we move on as well. Let's see. There's titles for each faction. That was kind of the big one. Each fully maxing out all 4 or each of the location-specific factions will offer you a title. For example, of the Port, I believe, is one, and of the Imperials was another. So we'll get titles off of this as well, which is pretty great. And yeah, just a bunch of really nice, interesting rewards. Some cosmetics, some affect your skilling, and others are quests, which is all around awesome. Overall, I'm pretty excited for this faction stuff. I am a little concerned about the time it's supposed to take. Mod Orion said something about 350 hours, and if that's the amount of time it takes to max out everything, that's pretty wild. So we'll see.
It'll keep us from ODing on quests on day 1.
That is true, though I would really like to OD on quests on day 1. Thank you, please. But yeah, there's a ton to do, and I'm pretty excited to see what we get to do when it comes to the factions. Anything else to add, or shall we hop along to the story?
It'll be an interesting experience to not have a quest be dependent on, like, when you do a quest, be dependent on when it comes out, and about how much work you do to get to that quest again.
Yeah.
Because neither of us have had that experience since, like, what? We got our capes?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I haven't had to train for a quest in years. I mean, granted, I'm max now, so I'll never have to train for a quest until we get a, new skill that has a quest launched at the same time. But
the last time I really had to train for a quest, and that's not counting the time I reset my defense so I could do more quests. I think it might have been 2010.
Yeah, it's been a long time for me. Like, Firemaker's Curse maybe might have been the last major time that happened. I suppose Dungeoneering was another, and Divination. Yeah, I guess Divination. But like usually it requires a new skill to be launched, so this is going to be an interesting experience.
The Menaphos skill.
Yay! Menaphos nearing.
Menaphos nearing. You're going to get a Menaphos cape at the end.
Oh, I can't wait. Oh, no, you already get one pretty early on.
Yeah, the Palau cape.
Yeah. As part of the faction stuff, you'll be given a series of tasks by a Ugthanatos named Aluric, who basically asks you to do some basic stuff, like go do a city quest, find a cat, that kind of stuff. And he will reward you with the cape of the, what is it, Palapa?
Yeah, the Palapa.
Palapa.
Which...
it's pretty cool looking. It's mostly cosmetic, but you know.
Yeah. So are skill capes.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's a nice looking cape, and it's really all that matters. All right, story.
Story.
Let's do story. Okay, so as we mentioned, we're getting 4 new quests. The first one is called Jack of Spades. It's the Menaphos introductory quest. The second is called Crocodile Tears. It is the Crondis quest. The third is called Our Man in the North, which is 99.9% the Het quest, because Rowley has said Our Man in the North is the planned name for a Het quest. And then finally is Fight Club, as in Mena Fight Club, but it's been abbreviated.
Or Calfight.
Or Calfight. Though I would be really surprised if they went for Calfight since Mena Fight, but, you know. We'll see. I mean, either way, it's a great name for a quest.
I think of that.
Yeah, just bunch of really good names here, and I'm really happy to see them all on there.
All right, so
yeah, go ahead.
Like, we've been introduced to this Jack of Spades character that we didn't know about before this whole hype time began.
Yeah, he's an unknown character, appears to be brand new. As I've mentioned in a past podcast, I have a small theory that he's either Black Ibis or he is Het.
I have that very long, rambling theory that he's actually Coenus.
Yeah, which would be absurd. Like, it would be funny, but I would be shocked. But yeah, he's kind of like a Robin Hood, and this introductory quest, Jack of Spades, it requires just Stolen Hearts and Diamond in the Rough to access, and we'll get you into Menaphos. Will involve the Jack of Spades in some capacity, and will really kind of set you up for the start of the city anyway. Apparently there's a lot more you need to do to really get full access to everything, but this gets you in the door. It doesn't require any Menaphos reputation or anything, obviously. It's the quest that gets you in, so you can't have already been inside. Crocodile Tears is the Crondis quest, requiring 19,800 rep to unlock. So
as soon as we all get...
Yeah, go ahead.
Rep, Crondis is going to come back from his cruise.
Yes, exactly. It's going to be great. But based on the way Mod Chaplin was earning reputation on the stream yesterday, he got about 4,500, 4,800 or so in 30 minutes, which means this one won't take super long to unlock, which is good.
Still good. It's going to take a couple hours.
Yeah, a couple hours, but I'm fine with that. You know, I want to spend my time exploring. What we know about this quest is that Crondis has been horribly corrupted and is inside of a specific pyramid. And in this quest, we will be trying to figure out how to free her and, you know, have her join the fight against Amascut, who is, you know, ravaging the city in her hunt for something.
I suspect that Semleton will be involved because she was involved with
Atmecan.
The Atmecan.
Yeah. So I'm very eager to see how this one plays out. There is an image of, I think it's the southern end of the Imperial District, that has a pyramid with a Crondis head icon on it, and I'm wondering if that's the temple she's or the pyramid she's holed up in right now.
I thought so too, but now I'm not so sure because there was also this obelisk that had Atmecan's head on the plinth.
Oh, interesting. So, you know, there's there's options.
It could just be like art, you know.
Yeah, it could just be artsy fartsy little addition there. Yeah, we'll see how that ends up turning out. I'm really excited just to like finally get to interact with Crondis and Het too, but Crondis has been kind of the one that's been left alone. And it's a good sign that, you know, she was the one that they made certain they were making content for first.
Yeah, like yeah, Jagex actually says in his dialogue that very little is known of Crondis.
Yeah.
Like, he actually said that.
Like, we didn't even know she was a female for a very long time. So, you know, we've got a lot to learn, and it's pretty cool. Let's see. So next is Our Man in the North. As mentioned, this is very likely a Het quest. A couple years ago, when I was suggesting Souls of the Sand as a Het quest, Mod Rowley mentioned that if he was making a Het quest, it would be called Our Man in the North, which is a pun off of an old TV show. What was it? I think it is also called Our Man in the North. Our Friends in the North, that's right. It was a British serial show on BBC, and had 9 episodes, and each one is set over like a specific year with a group of friends. So, yeah, it's kind of a play off of the title. Oh, and Daniel Craig and Christopher Eccleston, as well as 2 other actors, Gina McKee and Mark Strong, were all in this, and they've all done particularly well since then. So it's
Wait, we didn't? Yeah.
No, they all have done particularly well.
James Bond, the Doctor.
Yeah, and then Mark Strong has been in just a ton of stuff that I've seen, including like Zero Dark 30, Kingsman, Grimsby. He's been everywhere. Gina McKee's the only one I'm not particularly like knowledgeable about, but she's been in a show called The Borgias that I've seen.
Oh yeah,
among other things.
it's that Netflix.
Yeah. So, you know, everybody in that show has done well, and I find it interesting that that Rowley has named a quest after that show. I don't know if it means anything, but you know, it's a cool title, and Het is kind of the patron god of Al-Kharid anyway, so it's pretty cool. I'm especially curious if Al-Kharid will be playing a major role in that quest, because, you know, as the patron god, and Rowley mentioned he would like a Het quest to be set in Al-Kharid. So perhaps we'll be dealing with, you know, that trade deal, if it's gone wrong, what we'll be doing involved in that, and Het finally gets involved.
Yeah, but from what I can tell from Jex's dialogue, which I keep going back to...
Yeah, it's a very valuable resource.
Yeah, that has him in Menaphos as well.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, this quest requires 99,000 rep to unlock, so considerably longer than the Crondis quest.
22 hours, looks like.
Yeah, if we're going based off the thing that Orion mentioned, which I'm starting to think it would be very unreasonable for that to be the requirement based on the rep requirement for Fight Club, because that's a lot to ask.
Yeah, that's, what, 11 hours?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But I'm really excited for this quest. You know, we're getting yet another God Aspect quest, and we're finally going to round out that quartet of quests, and finally we can move on from that and get some more story going.
Yep, and that will bring us back to Fight Club.
Yeah, Fight Club. Possibly the finale quest for Menaphos? It would make sense.
Proceeding more. I think it's...
Go ahead.
Just proceeding more in the Menaphite storyline.
Yeah.
Like, our last quest in the secular version of the storyline, the last one that moved the thing forward...
Do no evil, yeah.
...was Contact. No, it was Contact, without, like, secular.
Yeah. Yeah, I see what you mean.
So I think this will be...
kind of like a dealing with Scabarus Contact series continuation.
Splits off right there, because dealing with Scabarus starts getting us into the...
It gets us into the God Aspect side of things, but it also does deal with Amascut's attack on Sophonem and what's going on in Menaphos. But Contact is really the last one that has like direct relevance to Menaphos. So yeah, I see what you're saying.
So I think it would have something to do with the recent revolt in Menaphos, which it's not something that's talked about a lot, because Contact was...
a long time ago.
2007, 2006.
6, maybe. Let me find out. But yeah, this quest is going to require every other desert quest, 254,100 reputation to unlock, and likely is the quest that has 72 fishing and 73 hunter as a requirement as well.
Yep. Contact was January 10th, 2007.
So 10 years ago.
10 years ago.
Oh,
10.5 years ago, actually.
Yeah, speaking of interesting things as well, fun fact, Menaphos will be one of the first major releases for the desert that was not released in a January. Like, because Do No Evil came in January, Dealing with Scabrous came in January.
No.
Contact came in January.
Do No Evil came out in December.
Oh, was it in December? Okay, in the winter. Let's correct that to the winter.
Yes.
Like, the majority of desert content appears to have been released in either in a January type time frame. The reworks for the Ozan quests were September, and things like Smoking Kills were in June, so we've got, some precedent. But, like, some of the major story events were, January, December kind of thing, which is really funny. They even did a whole, a big Menaphos, or not Menaphos, a whole desert month, and I believe that was in January as well. I know that was December, so close. Yeah, it sticks with the pattern.
Good enough.
Yeah, but I don't know what this quest is going to be about. I'm excited for it, but I don't know what it's actually going to be about.
I suspect it has something to do with the Order of Slayers, or
yeah, it's got the word club in the name. That would be exciting.
Fight Club.
Yeah.
So fighting.
Yeah.
Club.
I could see that happening. I also assume that we'll do something about the Pharaoh in this quest because his head is the icon.
Yeah, and I think it'll have something to do with the revolt recently, because there's still unrest according to in the Workers' District and the Ports District.
Yeah, because last we checked, there was still an active revolt going on. So we'll see.
Well, kind of active.
Yeah.
Coenus does his job with extreme...
beating the snot out of people and murdering them, but it's supposed to still be going on. And then beyond these 4 quests, we've got another, it's kind of like Tales, mixed with contracts from the Ark. They're called city quests. So, like I said, similar to Ark contracts, you're going out and doing something for somebody, but they've actually written, like, a story reason as to why you're going to do it. Like, if you're going to kill some Slayer monsters, which you'll get a nice chunk of Slayer XP for, you'll actually be doing it for somebody for a specific reason. The example that we saw actually was a scammer. There's 2 guys that claim they have something that they need you to do, and it turns out the items they want are just because they want them. But, they'll say something like, oh, my son is really sick, and I'm in dire need of your help. I need you to go get me this. Or there is danger in Sophonem, and creatures are swarming up from the pyramid. You must go defeat them. There's going to be some story elements to it, which...
Yeah, it's good.
It's awesome.
It's kind of like another MMO's quests, where it's like there is a story reason at the beginning, but then it just ends up being, do this for me, and then you come back.
The fact that these are just kind of like almost randomly generated little things is pretty funny. It like continues to mock other games' poor quests.
Which is alright.
Which is great. Like, keep doing that, because RuneScape's quests are amazing. But, these there are 34 City Quest NPCs. 33 of them have voice acting. One of them does not, because apparently they are a pre-existing character. But...
It might be one of the... It might be the High Priest of Sophanum.
There's a thought. I was thinking it was actually going to be Mysa.
Yeah. Could be them, too.
Yeah.
Someone who is around in the Contact story.
Yeah, we know she's alive, so... there's an option there. Basically, just one of them is going to be an NPC we've seen before and know. So, I don't know who it's going to be. We have our lovely little theories. But, we're getting some voice acting content. Basically, they found some extra time and hit up the audio team and were like, which one of us are good enough to voice act? And then voice acted stuff. These city quests unlock cosmetics. They reward special reward caches. There's small, medium, and large. The large ones can be pretty valuable, offering, just some random resources, Slayer VIP tickets, some experience, just, some high-value stuff across various levels. Additionally, these reward caches could be turned in for reputation instead of opening them if you so desired. They mostly come from city quests, though they can also be found during the Shifting Tombs. And what was the last thing to bring up? City quests are, while they show up, they're kind of more similar to like Tears of Guthix in that, you don't log in every day and have a new city quest. You need to actually go out and do things in order to get more city quests. What those things might be, or like if what the formula for it is has not been said, but you're not just going to be able to log in, each day, do a city quest and log out again. You're going to have to work for it.
But that's a pretty different from everything else we've seen.
Yeah, and I'm fine with that, to be honest. I like that style, and I think it's a good way to ensure that, players that are coming to play Menaphos are actually playing. You're not just doing your dailies and moving on. It gives you options on how to do things, and, it rewards you for enjoying the game instead of, logging in Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday for 10 minutes.
Yeah, it also gives Menaphos some uniqueness, some character.
Yeah, definitely. They even said that Menaphos doesn't even really have any kind of dailies to it. And that's a very good sign to me. It means they're not capping things. You can, just work as hard or as little as you want. For example, in the Arc, they've got that cap on how many chimes you can earn each day, your daily contracts, and so on. So it's very nice to see things mixed up here and just kind of give you the freedom to do what you want to do. Further story stuff. NPCs all over the city have tons of dialogue. Every single house can be entered. Tons of examine texts. I don't think we got to bring it up in a podcast, but last cast we made a joke about how they were gonna, Mod Stu was gonna stay in the office overnight and do a ton of examine texts for them, and lo and behold, he took tap time and did a bunch of examine texts for them.
And a lot of them are witty. Like,
oh yeah,
I think my favorite one he's done was they strung this shark up to keep the other ones in line.
Yeah, I saw that one.
In the Arc.
That's in the Arc. That one's hilarious. Yeah, so I always love Stu's examine writing. He always has very good control over his pun game. All the new achievements, because Menaphos is getting a bunch of achievements under the new achievement system, all have very punny names as well. And I'm excited to get a little chuckle every time I hit something up.
And then of course there's Fight Club.
Yep, that one's great too. Somebody probably spent several minutes giggling as they pitched that one. See, we already mentioned Urluk. Let's see.
That's on the little spinkies.
Yeah. The Grand Library of Menaphos. We mentioned this in podcast 1 about the books. They have confirmed there are about 20 entries added as books. Some of them even introduce some fairly major lore and progress some small background stories forward a little bit. I have a pretty distinct feeling that my book has made it in, because the Black Ibis have been confirmed to be mentioned in a city quest, and we have no other mentions of what the Black Ibis are, except I wrote a story entry about the Black Ibis. So I think it feels correct to me to say, hey, my story might have made it in, which is awesome. And the other 19 books are all limes.
Definitely. Oh yeah, they are.
For sure.
And all of them are on some variation of the backstory of each cactus in the desert.
Cactus.
Each one of them has a like past that dates back to the God Wars.
Yeah.
Wait, no, 18 of them do.
18 of them?
The last
okay.
one's the Benny joke.
Oh, yeah. I was gonna say all of them are gonna be pun-filled.
It's 5:45. That's when I left. Just letting you know.
And I think that's it. Oh wait,
Yeah.
collections.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we've got collections, and then a couple little things under there, and then we have the Golden Path to talk about as well. Don't forget that.
Yes.
So collections, these are very similar to the Arc Journal, but they are going to be spanning the whole desert rather than just Menaphos and Sophonem. You know, will be going into some of the houses in Menaphos to find things on certain days similar to the bottles. You're hunting down cats that can wander all the way across the desert or hidden in certain places. You're collecting various gems. I wonder if he's recycling the icons from the Arc gems that never made it in.
That would probably be something really wise to do.
Yeah, I mean, you've got the icons in, why not? Among other things, you're going to be collecting a pretty wide range of things. We don't know what the rewards for this are yet, but I'm already excited to start digging into these collections because I adored the Arc ones. Those were so much fun.
It's probably some titles or like, oh, the Sandy title.
Yeah, oh, yes. I hate sand. It's coarse and gets everywhere. I need that as a title.
Oh, God. Captain Lime hates sand.
Yeah, that would be a really great one. Oh my god. The Dusty, the Dried. There better be the Devourer title in Menaphos, or I'm gonna cry. I need that title. Oh god, I need that title. Oh, I almost forgot about this one. There is a hat that is literally a cat that can sit on your head that you can earn as a cosmetic in Menaphos.
This is the height of games.
It is the height of Fashionscape right there. Like, I don't know how you can get better than that, to be honest.
The cat hat.
That's so good. They are sticking with the three-month amnesty for the Comp Cape, which is great. I guess they're just going to go with it, because there's a lot more than just the 120 Slayer edition that compers will have to earn. So I'm fine with that. The Luminous Wisp colony has been changed, moving the wisps closer to the rift, and you're no longer affected by desert heat there anymore. It's likely they're moving it into or very near the city because of this.
I think it's within the Sophanum walls now.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Sophanum walls,
The place is
go all
going
the
way
way
south. Yeah.
they go all the way now.
There appears to be a new Impling coming named, well, we don't know what the name is, but the one that you catch and put in Perthnos is named Johnny. We know this because in the achievements update, we discovered that, well, there's a name called Johnny that is grayed out, and nobody knows how to get it because we have all of the Implings.
Maybe like a Pharaonic Impling?
Yeah.
A No-Mark Impling?
A Sandy Impling, you know, they've got options.
Impling?
They have a lot of options.
A Golden Impling.
Golden Impling, ooh, I like that. Oh, and there's also a Crablet hidden somewhere in Menaphos. Maybe. I'm not sure if Orion was joking with this one or not. But I am hoping there is actually a Crablet in Menaphos. I think they'd fit the setting very well. Yes! Oh my god, yes.
Dude's a pirate, but instead of having a parrot on his shoulder, he has a crablet.
Like a little teeny tiny crablet. That would be hilarious. Or he could have a pet, like the X-Runes pet. That's an option.
An X-Crablet.
Yeah. Oh, there you go, XX Crablet. Yes! I would be so down for that.
It's an X-Crablet, but instead of being a crablet, it's actually just a plate of seafood.
Oh my god, just... Oh my god. And then if you you go through the same process as the XX Parrot, you can bring it to life and have just a tray of seafood following you around. I really want that. I don't think that's what it's gonna be, but I really want that now. Alright, so before we wrap up, there's been some pretty significant progress in the Golden Path ARG since the last time we recorded.
What were we at on the last time we recorded? Was it Batal?
I think we had not even found Batal yet. I believe we had only just finished Wadud, and then Batal was showing up soon because of the stream. So we found on Reddit an account named Hero Batal, and putting Batal in gave us, you know, the start of the next clues. His was pretty small. It wasn't very hard. We got a little bit of backstory about him.
The way we found it was pretty interesting. It was a live stream that had a cat with a YouTube symbol on it.
Yep.
And then when the next Road to Menaphos came out, meow,
yeah,
right over.
Yeah, there was a meowing sound at one point as the image of the Thrall characters or creatures displayed on screen. If you went to the Menaphos microsite and went to the Thrall page, there was a corrupted piece of data that flashed across the screen on the GIF. If you downloaded it and opened it in Notepad...
No. That's not correct. That was for...
was that for...
MOCAD. Acomet. The picture, it wasn't a GIF. It was just a picture that has some corruption at the bottom.
Oh, I thought it was the GIF. Okay. So there was just the image that was corrupted then, and then if you opened it in Notepad, it started you on the path to Asan the Merchant.
Wait, no, that just gave you Batal.
Oh, wow, did it? Oh, yeah, and then we found the Reddit account. Yeah, sorry, I've got this thing all backwards in my head.
Then we found the Reddit account, and then we found the JMod account on the RSOF.
Yeah.
And we have no idea how we get there.
Yeah.
It gave us Vizier E, and then I guessed Asan, and it was right.
Yeah, this one's really weird. We still do not have a clear idea of how to solve Asan. We have all the pieces, but we haven't actually put most of them together. Lime, in his continual brilliance, managed to figure out Asan based on just the E, which still boggles my mind. If he doesn't win the RuneFest trip, we're watching you.
I'll be mad.
We're watching you. Seriously, like,
it's just...
oh my god.
Nailed it.
Oh my god, it's just Grand Vizier E. I'm gonna guess Asan. Bam.
It's because I knew this guy named Ishan, and I misspelled it.
That's so funny. But, yeah, so there's, like, lots of little pieces. Grand Vizier Asan has been, editing posts on the RSOF to include some hints. Somehow those hints are to lead you to a chatbot that, as you ask questions, will eventually give you a series of riddles that, once you finally solve, will give you her full name, EHSAN. When entered into the sundial, it gives you another teaser that will eventually start to lead you towards Acomet. At that point, I believe that was when we saw CMNDRA on her sword.
It was Tome of Menaphos that we saw that on our
That's right. Yeah. So they put out the Tome of Menaphos video. We saw a sword on the picture of Acomet that said Commander A on it. There's two Twitter accounts, Commander A and Commander A. And the Commander A tweeted out something that said, "I am a fake," in the capitals of the phrase she tweeted. And then Commander A started tweeting, and
one of her pictures had, in very faint letters across the side, "I'm the real deal."
Yep. And let's see. Then from there we found that was the WebM, right?
No. What we found then was she tweeted out a picture and said, just look closely, and something eyes, and we found this little picture of the horse.
Yeah, that's right.
Still don't know the significance of that, but then the next day, there was another picture of previous concept art, except there was something different about it, and it had this little spade and a J next to it in Menaphite letters. And that led us to the Jack of Spades page, which had a very small corruption in the GIF.
It's pronounced GIF, Lime?
Shut up. When you open that GIF...
You're still doing it. I don't want to open a jar of peanut butter here. I'm looking at a moving image. Come on.
Why would you not want to open a jar of peanut butter?
Well, I'm not going to find any information about the Golden Path and some peanut butter.
I thought you were hungry. You're the devourer, aren't you?
I'm always hungry. Come on.
All right, so you open it up. Walter and I and Avernick, we all got this like a full 30 minutes before everyone else on the Golden Path Discord, by the way.
And I was at work the entire time, so I had no idea this was happening.
So we open it in Notepad. At the bottom, there's like the Snake Charmer ASCII art. Yeah. And when you read it, it says, "Hunger for the Golden Path. Your hunger doesn't abate. Is your next port of call, don't be late." It said something like that, which pointed us to the live stream, and that's where we got Acomet, which we don't know if it's the real thing.
Yeah, because during the stream, Mod Chaplin opened up the factions thing and casually clicked on the Imperial one. Acomet's name and her whole bio pops up, and then he quickly exits out of that and goes to Wadud. adding to the excitement, if I remember correctly, his account name was Commander A backwards. And if you put that into the Menaphos site, doesn't it lead you to, like, just kind of...
Or what? Twitch, the Twitch channel.
Yeah, that's right. It leads you to the Twitch channel via the... Where is it?
Somewhere.
Menaphos, if you put in Commander A backwards, there is a big GIF that's like the picture of Menaphos. It has 3 frames that say Tome of Menaphos, which is the video. In the description of the video, there's a link called Please Don't Click Me. If you enter bit.ly, please don't click me, it leads you to twitch.tv/Commander A. And earlier today, it live streamed briefly, showing like kind of an orb of Oculus flying around Al-Kharid, focusing on Het. It then changed its profile image to have a shot of the headless statue of Het in the duel arena, as well as a character wearing the Book of Faces. There is also Menaphite script there that I don't think was there before.
And it says PogChamp.
Yep, which is kind of hilarious.
They're trolling us.
They are totally trolling us. They've been having a lot of fun trolling us with Commander A, just in general, like between the 2 different accounts screwing around with us and all that.
I think this is revenge for me guessing S on.
Yeah, probably. They're getting revenge on you for getting lucky.
I did this.
This is all your fault. But Akkomet does not work on the sundial, and this is as far as we've gotten so far. And yeah, that's where the golden path is at right now. Hopefully, we'll get it done really, really soon, because 2 people that entered the name within 24 hours of Menaphos opening will be put into one drawing, and then anybody that does it, I believe, is a week after, is put into a second drawing. Does that sound right? That sounds right.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
Yeah, so that means that by the day Menaphos comes out, or the day after Menaphos comes out, we should have found the last official name and be able to put it in. So we don't know if we're supposed to know Akkomet yet, and I really hope that's not actually her name, because I'd really like to have one where we properly go through the entire thing.
Yeah.
But, maybe we're not going to be that lucky.
Well, on a side note, there's also another reward that comes from doing the Golden Path, and we don't know what it is.
Yeah, it's something that everybody gets. Probably a cosmetic item.
Yeah, some in-game reward.
It's not in the cache or anything yet, as far as we know. So nobody really knows what we're going to be getting out of this.
Yeah, we haven't had to plunder anything yet. Not the sundial yet.
Yep.
Which reminds me, cosmetically, we're going to need the rest of those god masks from...
We are confirmed to have a Crondis one.
Nice. And are we getting a Het one soon?
I mean, we didn't know about the Het quest at the time, so I'm assuming that if we have a Crondis one, we're getting a Het one.
Cool.
Yeah. So, that's pretty great.
Yeah, it is.
And I think that's everything we need to cover. There was a leaked update post for Menaphos that gave us a little bit of information as well. Nothing too crazy, but it's where we got the names for Our Man in the North and Fight Club as well. As well as a couple little requirements, but really everything else we already knew. It was nice to have. And, yeah. I think that's it.
Yep.
Alright, so,
Wait, did we talk about shifting tombs at length?
We did in the first and second episodes. I don't think there's been anything new announced for Shifting Tombs, so I just figured we wouldn't cover it here.
Okay.
Because this is kind of the wrap-up of all the information we didn't have yet. But,
alright, I think that's everything.
I think that's
it.
That leaves us at the end. So, in the next week, there will be 2 to 3 videos coming up on this channel as well, beyond this one. We're going to be doing a recap of the history of the desert, going through each of the ages, going through some major characters that you're going to want to know. Not too long of a video either. Then there's going to be a quest recap of all the desert quests leading up to this. And finally, I'm going to attempt to do a fairly short rundown of everything that we know is coming in Menaphos in a shorter form than these long-form podcasts. Just more digestible. Go ahead.
In the next 6 days, Menaphos is being released.
Yeah, and it's kind of coming out on Monday, and I am ready to lose my shit.
Wait,
it's gonna be awesome.
That's not 6 days. That's
it's
5
days. We have 5 days.
God.
I'm very excited, and I don't know what to do. It's here.
It's been
I'm
12
so ready.
years.
It's been 12 years. I've been pushing for this for years and years and years. And on Monday, it's finally coming.
Lives. Not even our adult lives. That's the majority of our lives.
Yeah. Oh man, I can't even begin to tell you guys how excited I am of this.
And
it's
now
crazy.
we've made Rowley feel old.
Yeah, that too. Oh my god. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, or listening, I suppose, to this one. And,
Yep.
we'll see you guys in Menaphos. Please check back for those 3 videos we just mentioned. If you like this, please subscribe, hit us up with a like, give us your feedback in the comments. I want to hear all of it. I'm so excited, and I want to hear everything. Tell me more.
There's also going to be a plethora of videos coming out after Menaphos comes out of
yeah.
us literally drooling. That will be the sound that you'll be hearing. An hour of us drooling.
We are going to be playing so much Menaphos. So, be ready for that. It's going to be sick.
It's impossible to be ready.
Yeah,
You just gotta live it.
I don't think I'm ever going to be ready. Alright, everybody. Thanks so much for listening, and we will catch you next time. Bye.
Bye.